Hey guys, and welcome to game number 93 out of 100 of my Human vs. AI series, where I'm taking on the AI-powered Scrabble-bot BestBot in a 100-game match. We're currently sitting at 38 wins, so we are hopefully going to still hit 40 wins. I only need to win 2 out of the last 8, so hopefully that shouldn't be too hard. Ideally, what I'd love to do is get to 45 wins at this point. That's going to be tough. I'm going to need to win 7 out of the last 8, so it's been rough lately, as I'm sure you guys know if you've been watching for the last week or two. We've been in a bit of a slump, so hopefully I can get things going today and maybe go on a streak and get to that 45 win mark. Of course, it goes without saying that 50 wins is no longer attainable. The bot did, unfortunately, win the series a couple games ago. But anyway, the bot opens with Dib, and I've got the J and the V, which isn't great. Probably you want to just play Jive or something to get rid of both of them. Could also play Joint. Probably Jive either above or below the D and Dib is my guess. It's 19 points either way, so I don't think it makes a huge difference. I think I'll actually play it here, just because I do have the O for J-O and possible underlap plays there next turn. If I didn't have an O, I'd probably play it underneath. Now, of course, the bot could also have an O, but it's not like a huge risk, right? If the bot plays there, it's going to probably get 30, worst case 40 points. So it's not a big risk, and it could help me a bit on my next turn, clear out my rack. So I think, given I do have the hook myself, I prefer taking the initiative and playing it here. I could also, I guess, instead of playing Jive, play something under Dib as well, like Jatan. It scores more, but IV is a lot worse than ONT, and I really do just want to get rid of that V. So let's play Jive. And, alright, well, I drew a lot of N's. I do actually have a bingo. I have Santonin through this I in Jive if it were to stay open, which is not all that likely. It's a tempting spot for the bot to go. Now, this is one of those racks. Okay, well, bad news is the bot bingo. The good news is Santonin stays open, which, all things considered, given how clunky my rack is otherwise, is not a terrible trade. Like, I was going to say, if I don't bingo here, then I'm getting, like, 12. It's one of those racks where you either bingo or get 12. So, thankfully, in this case, it's a bingo. Now, it is pretty risky. The board is going to be blown wide open. I'm just making sure the bot didn't give me anything else, but I don't think so. There's nothing through an E as far as I can tell. So, alright, let's just stick to Santonin. And honestly, a pretty good draw, all things considered. I don't think I have a bingo here with HVX, but I should have several good scoring options. I can play Vaxes to this S for 48, which looks great, keeping a nice leaf as well, SHL. Could play Exhale from the Ian Digested, also 48 points, keeping SV, which is a little bit weaker. This does set up hooks with Exhaled or Exhaled. I do have the S. Worth mentioning, Exhaler is not good. There are a bunch of R's left, in fact, all the R's, but you can't put the R there, so no reason to worry about that. Alright, the bot plays Olives, no huge surprise there, so Vax is no longer available to that S. There is the A next to Santonin, but I can't overlap the X both ways, so it's not really worth playing there. Another option, actually, is I can play Hex here for 45. That's not bad. A little bit more defensive than Exhale. Keeps LAVS. The L and the A go pretty well together with the S and the V. It also sets up plays with Vex for my next turn to get rid of my V. So that's not a bad option either. It's 3 fewer points than Exhale. Now, the other thing though is there's only 1 D and 1 S left. So the Exhale's hook is not a bad thing for me to set up. In fact, it's probably good because I do have one of the last 3 hooks in the scene. An S with only 2 more left. So, not a bad idea either. I could kind of see either option. The score is going to more or less be even after my next play either way. Yeah, I'd say the leave is a bit better after Hex, just because SV has much more potential to get really clunky. Keeping the A and the L, just those 2 good tiles, minimizes the chances I'm going to get more clunky consonants to go with my V. So I think at this point in the game, I'm a little more inclined to play Hex. It also, like I said, sets up Vex very nicely for my next turn if I don't have a good play with the V. So I think I'm okay with this. The board is pretty wide open anyway. I still have dibs for potential bingos. I don't need that S-hook so badly with Exhale, and it does give him a lot more bingos too between those floaters and leaving the floaters and Digested open, so I think this is fine. Let's play Hex. Alright, I drew the blank, which is obviously a good thing. Also the Z, so probably not going to be able to bingo here. I think I just have too many constants. Wow, audio comes down instantly, so as it turns out, gave the bot a pretty big play there. Although if I had played Exhale, then the bot could have played it with Exhaled as well. Alright, so now what do I want to do? I don't have Vex anymore. I guess I could just play, like, Dibs and Zaz. It's 39 points. I mean, it's actually not bad. LRV blank could definitely turn into a bingo if I draw a couple of vowels. In fact, it probably should. As long as I can draw 2 vowels, I should bingo with LRV blank a lot of the time. I haven't anything ending in, like, ID? I don't think so. Some crazy word ending in zid, like isoniazid, but that obviously doesn't come close to working. I don't think so. Almost Vishla as well, if there were an I, but there's no I to play Vishla through. Anything through the letters in Santonin? Not really, I don't believe. Overzeals needs another letter, which I don't have. Yeah, I think Zaz is fine. I mean, I don't love getting rid of my S, but it's 39 points. I'm not getting anywhere near 39 points with any other plays, at least, that I've seen. And having the blank at least makes me a little more willing to part with my S. So, alright, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. This should bingo, I feel like. The B is a little clunky, but I feel like I should have something. Variable, it doesn't work. Okay, swasher. So the bot uses an S. Well, I can play swashers and verbals now. So that's one option. I just want to convince myself I have nothing like from the A in Olives or through the N or the T in Santonin, or maybe even next to Zaz. So I have time. I've been playing pretty fast. Let's slow down here for a second. But I don't see it off the top of my head. Carvable, that also doesn't fit. Drivable, no. Deverbal. Yeah, VB is a notoriously clunky combination, as we're seeing here. So it might just be best to play verbals and swashers. Because I'm not seeing anything else. I think with an O, absolver doesn't work. I doubt it. Bravely. But I don't think that plays with a blank Y. Alright, yeah, I think verbals and swashers is the best option. It doesn't hit a double word, so it doesn't look great, but it's actually still 77 points, so it's not all that bad. And okay, I drew the other blank, which is obviously very good. I don't see any playable bingos off the top of my head. It feels like there should be one. I think through a T? Newton, L blank. I guess the ends, the two ends make it a little bit tricky. Either way, though, that was still a very good draw. And hopefully, alright, Tritium, that's a good play by the bot, burning some tiles. Now I have a good line for sevens, too. Like anything ending in non-well. That's not a word. I feel non-well about the prospect of non-well being a valid word. I could play 1 over here for 23. That seems pretty good. Oh, this came up once. I almost feel like it was in the Hasty Bot series. I think this is good. It's definitely good without the S. I can't remember for sure if it's good with the S, and it's only 5 more points. It also keeps the W, which isn't great, so I'm not going to risk it. But that might be a word. Yeah, I mean, 23 points keeps ELN. I could also play from this B, but I don't really want to keep both ends. That'll definitely put a damper on my bingo chances. So still leaning towards 1. Anything to the N in Santonin with ending in ON? Lemon doesn't work. Nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I doubt there's a bingo. It would have to be either a 7, which I'm pretty sure I would have seen by now if there was one, or an 8 from the T. Which, honestly, even if it were there, which I don't think it is, Townlets doesn't work. Wouldn't be great. Town line, that's not good. From the A, I really doubt it. So, alright, I think I feel pretty good about playing 1 over here. Hopefully, barring a bad draw, I should be able to bingo on my next turn. Alright, well, I've got numeral, for sure. That's about 80 points. That's 81. Do I have anything else? I might not. It's actually a pretty bad board for bingoing. Tritium really exhausted a lot of space. Like, on the left-hand side of the board, alright, so bogey comes down. Well, do I have it? I probably have something to this Y, right? Ending in, like, LY? Feels like I ought to. Unmeetly. It doesn't work. Unseemly. Numerary. No. I mean, obviously I can still play numeral, but I'll get a lot more points if I can play to this Y. So I just want to really make sure I'm not missing something. But it's possible I'm not. Modernly? Yeah, I'm one off of a lot of words there, but I don't think so. There's relooming to the G, but that's obviously way worse than numeral. It's fewer points and also opens a triple-triple. Yeah, it really feels like I ought to have something to the Y, just with an L and ER on my rack for ERY or LY. But I am really just not seeing it. So, okay, let's play numeral, and then as long as I can dodge a bingo on the right on my next turn, I should be able to block that. And well, the bot with a aggressive play here of TE. Now, Stum is good, but there are no S's left. So I guess it's just going for a bingo above EM, which I probably should try to do something about. I was looking to see if I had a play in this spot ending in ON. Not actually sure. I guess I have Preon. That's 34. I mean, I could also just do this and try to outrun the bot, because that puts me up 108. But I guess there's enough high point tiles left that the bot could play like hacking or something there for 120. So I probably should block that. It's a little annoying to block. I mean, yeah, I guess if I can play something above numeral, I also do block the Y, which is nice. I don't want to give back, like, massive plays, though. Like, I don't want to be careless here. I mean, is this okay? I mean, the lead is terrible, but as long as I can stop the bot from bingoing, I'm up enough. I don't care too much about that. I mean, I'll give back a lot of probably 40-point plays through the R, which is not ideal, but I should be able to just outrun stuff after that, I think. Aporia would be nice to get down, but it doesn't play. Yeah, Opa I can play here, keeps a slightly better lead. Maybe I do that, actually. That might be better. I mean, it doesn't block stuff to the Y, though. That's the one downside. And it's unlikely he'll get something to the Y, but it's certainly possible, and it's going to score a lot. Like, if he plays Quackery, that's going to be really bad. And it's much, much harder for him to start with a Y than end with a Y. So I'm much less worried about plays down from the Y on the bottom right. I just feel like if I play pair, right? I know it's a terrible-looking play. It's a horrible lead, and it doesn't score that many points. It feels hard to lose. I'm going up 90. If he plays for like 40 or 50 through the R, then I just play like on the right next to bogey, and there's nowhere left for him to bingo. I mean, he can play next to the T, and he can play from the T in Tritium, I guess, but he's not going to score a lot, and he also will give me a lot of counterplay, so I'm not too concerned about that. And the nice thing about pair, too, is if he were to bingo now, then I actually have the scoring spot for myself on the next turn. So it's a very weird-looking play, but I think at this score, given how few options there are on the board otherwise, I think it's reasonable. There's just not a great way for the bot to reopen the board. It's pretty exhausted. So I'm going to do it. We'll see if it works out. Obviously, this is not a good rack, but I sort of knew that might happen, given I kept AOO. But that's fine. Another thing is the bot is getting very low on tiles left, with only 8 tiles left in the bag. It's going to need to bingo quickly. Okay, creakily for 54. That was a lot of points. I didn't quite expect that. So now I need to be a little careful, because I don't really think I want to... I mean, I could just do this. I guess... What am I up? 71? I probably can outrun it if I do this. But I think I might still be better off just blocking if I can. Like, what if I do... I guess Acria here still allows stuff through the O. There is a Q left, but there is the QI spot on the right with Creakily, so I'm not too scared of the Q. It's pretty... that pool is also not good, right? Like, let's face it. It's going to be pretty tough for the bot to bingo from the G, I think, if not almost impossible. Probably not impossible, but very, very hard. But I need to be a little bit wary of maybe getting outrun without a bingo now, because he scored a lot more points than I thought he would. It's not easy for me to completely block this T. Like, I don't think I should start doing this. I mean, I probably should have enough, but with this bet of leave, I'm not entirely convinced I can't be outrun in some situations, especially if, say, I draw the Q and it blocks my Q spot. I mean, even if I'm just a little scared about putting the R out there with Rakan. But I guess even with an R, it's not that easy for him to bingo. And then, if I draw the Q, I should be able to score 31 and probably outrun him. And if he draws the Q, I can probably Q-stick him, most likely. Or at least I'll have enough flexibility to win. Do I have anything above Swashers, though, that blocks more effectively? Like, I'm not really dying to play Acria, but I guess maybe, honestly, maybe Acria is fine, because an O is a lot worse than an R with that pool, right? It's really hard for him to bingo through an O. I mean, there's just not a whole lot. And if he does bingo through the O, he's going to be giving me a lot of counterplay, most likely. So maybe this is fine. He could also bingo through that C, but that's pretty tough with the C specifically in the second spot. So I'm not too concerned about that. Maybe, or I could play, I guess Ku also could give back C bingos, but that's not bad either. Keeps a pretty well-balanced leave. Yeah, I don't hate that. It's also Kun. See, I'd love to do this or something, but there is an I left for icon, so I don't think I want to do that. That could definitely get me in some trouble. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Acria. I mean, it's so unlikely he's going to bingo through that O. Another thing I could do is just ignore it completely on the left. Right? I mean, what's he going to do? Like, let's face it, what's he going to do from that T, honestly? Not a whole lot. He's probably about equally likely to bingo from the T as the O. So maybe I don't even know if I have to go there, guys, honestly. Like, do I have a good play on the right that just ignores it? Yeah, like, maybe I just ignore the T. I also would probably rather not leave 3 in the bag, because, like, one concern about leaving 3 in the bag is if somehow the bot does bingo and it can go out, then I might lose. Like, I'd rather leave 5 in the bag so that in the unlikely event the bot bingos, then it's probably not going to be able to go out, and I should still have a good shot at winning in the end game. So yeah, I think let's play Ku, actually. I'm going to switch to this, and then if the bot, I guess the bot will often just play QI, but then I can probably really just start blocking the T and winning. So, alright, let's do this. I feel like I'm pretty confident I should be able to win. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot that's possible. I guess, like, Gnathite from the G is possible. But I should be able to outrun that easily. Yeah, that was a very weird turn, Ku. I mean, like I said, I just like leaving 5 in the bag, so that way if it bingos, it can't go out in most cases. Okay, so just FedEx now for 16. So Gnathite's still a threat, obviously. Is there anything from that T? Yeah, there's Thionate. So, alright, maybe I just play 2 then. And figure I can try to outrun it. Because I don't think I can just outrun it by playing here, since I'm gonna get the Q potentially. So maybe I mean, if the... Yeah, I guess if the bot plays Gnathite, I could run into some trouble. Do I have anything here through this G? Not a ton. Pager. I don't really want to empty the bag and possibly lose to Thionate either. I mean, it's pretty unlikely, but I know the bot didn't have the Q with FedEx, so I'm pretty confident. Maybe, honestly, maybe I just, like, drop a Y. I guess I'm going to lose if I draw the Q and the bot has Thionate. That's the one problem, right? But it's still more likely that if I empty the bag, the bot plays Thionate. Then now like the bot I think has to play Thionate and I have to draw the Q, which is pretty unlikely because I don't think QI will be enough for me after that most likely. Although maybe what if I play Pay? Then do I get enough? So if I draw the Q and another tile, 404, 58. Yeah, actually, then I think that might be enough. Because now if I don't have to get caught with the P, and obviously now if the bot just plays QI, I can block Thionate. I'm not losing without a bingo. There's no way. So, alright, 21. Shoot, I have a minute and a half left. I gotta be fast here. 404, it's plus 58. Thionate, 67, minus 9. It's gonna have like a T or a U. Well, if I have a U, I can play off the Q for a lot. If I get the T, 31 plus 20, 22, I'll have 14. It'll need 8 with a U. I don't think it can get 8 with a U. I think it's going to get like 5, so I think I win by 3 or something. No, 6. I think I win by 2. I have no idea if my math is right there, guys, but I think if I draw QT... Alright, well, now I should be fine, because the bot is going to either play the Q now or have a hard time dealing with it. Yeah, because I think, right, so I'm up 58, right? I was thinking before, if the bot had played if the bot had played Thionate from the T, that's 66, right? Oh, no, 65. 65. So then I'd have been down 7. QI is 31. I'm up 24. Then I'd have AEGORT left on my rack. If I had the U, then I just play Rogue and win easily. So 31 on plus and minus 7 is 24. Okay, no, the bot would have actually needed 10 with a U to tie now, I think. And on that board, I think on next to the N and Thionate would have been best. So I think I would have still won by 4. But yeah, that's why I needed to play the P there, guys. Because if I get the Q and not a U, I'm kind of handcuffed to playing QI. And if I do that, I obviously want to have as few remaining points on my rack as possible after that. So that's why I need to play off the P there. I just need to make sure I don't empty the bag. Because if I empty the bag and then Thionate comes down, I of course lose since I have the Q and I'm going to get stuck with it and the bot is going to get 20 bonus points for it. So I think I played that one correctly there. I don't see how Pei ever loses. That turn I feel pretty good about. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. So let me just focus here and make sure I don't lose. Okay. Hold on. Can I play Argon? Let me just be really sure there's no bingo here, guys. Hold on. No, R, no, there's nothing there. I would see it immediately if there was. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Tithe, and then I guess just Ru or Euro over here. Okay, phew, very good game. 445, 398. Good win for us here. Yeah, I guess I feel pretty good about Pei. I'm not sure about those other pre-endgame turns, so we'll look at those. But I want to go back to the beginning of this game, too. So the bot plays short with Dib to start instead of bided. I think that makes sense. It's 12 fewer points, but the ED really helps your bingo percentage. You also give back a lot less counterplay. So that makes sense. Yeah, Jive looks fine here. Bot bingos with Digested. Santonin only bingo. Wow, this feels like there should be something. This is not like a bad rack with FUL on it and stuff. But yeah, apparently there was no bingo here, so Olives looks fine. Yeah, Hex and Exhale were the choices here. I'm good with Hex. Like I said, the Leave is just a lot more well-balanced. You know, the A and the L really minimize the chances of a super clunky draw to go with my V. And yeah, I really bailed the bot out. I guess Audio ironically fit before, but Hex gave the bot like 13 more points for it. So that worked out very well for the bot. And let's see, Lavash. It's not bad. 15 is a lot to give up, and honestly, I don't think I want to keep SZ blank. Like, obviously it's a great leave, but it's not that likely to bingo, and when I have the blank, I'd rather try to bingo with it, so I think Zaz is fine here, honestly. Like, this is still a lot more likely to bingo, and it's 15 more points. I'm okay with that. Swasher. Oh, I did have Absolver. Okay, I mean, it's a lot worse. That's funny, I wasn't even really looking through that Owen Santonin, but I guess I probably just subconsciously knew, even if there was something there, like, it's going to be 62 points. So, verbals, once I saw that, that has to be better. That looks pretty good. Bot just burns through tiles here, which makes sense. It doesn't have any great stuff. You don't want to do this and keep 3 eyes, so might as well just dig for the other blank. Alright, no bingos here. Okay, so yeah, non-verbal does not take an S, so glad I did not play that. Yeah, 1 looks pretty good. Bot plays bogey, and then... Okay, yep, good. No bingo misses here, just numeral and read looming. I saw both of those. Numeral, obviously, better. And wow, so this is a crazy play by the bot here. TE without holding a hook to EM. But I guess just figuring maybe that would at least create some sort of distraction for me. Because I think what happens here, guys, if the bot just does something like... well, this could just give back easy scoring plays with Alum, so it probably doesn't want to do that. But... like, let's say it does this, right? Now I just block the right, and the bot is lost. There's just nowhere to go. It needs to create some more space. Oh, Apron, I didn't even see. I only saw Pre-End. Yeah, this was probably not a good play, honestly. Like, I mean, I guess the bot's ploy worked, right? It definitely got me to sacrifice a lot of points and block. I'm still not sure it's a terrible play, because as we saw, like, I had to be careful, but it wasn't too hard for me to squeeze it out after this. Like, I still don't think this is terrible, but yeah, I probably, especially like if I were in a tournament, right, I probably would just play Apron, figure I'm going up 108. It's pretty unlikely the bot's actually going to score enough there to outrun me. So I probably should have just played Apron. Yeah, I don't know. This was probably just a little bit too much of an overreaction to the bot's play. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I do that a lot lately when the bot makes those openings. Like, I just assume it has to have the tile that's going there and it's really close to something, but as in some other cases, I think here the bot was just smartly trying to create a distraction, and it worked. Because, yeah, pair was probably not a great play. I gave the bot a 54-point play of Creakily, and yeah, I mean, the bot had Cat-like, which didn't play, so it didn't have a whole lot to work with before I played pair, as it turns out. So, yeah, definitely I have to imagine a mistake on my part. And then, yeah, here, oh, I missed Kroon as well. For some reason, I only saw Rakan. Yeah, Kroon, I'm not sure, though. Like, that could definitely give back some stuff with CH. Like, cheaping, potentially. So, I don't know if I like that. I still am okay with Coup, because there are so few bingos the bot could have, either from the T or the G. And both of them give back significant counterplay. I'm up 50, so I'll be down a little bit, but I should be able to score very well next to whatever the bot plays. And again, by leaving 5 in the bag, I more or less ensure that the bot is not going to have 2 outplays at least on its next turn. And if I have the Q, then I know I can at least play QI. And if the bot gets the Q, then I can probably block it and give it a very hard time playing the Q off. So I'm okay with Coup here. I mean, Kroon, just giving the C and the R doesn't feel great. And like I said, I instinctively wanted to block this T because it was just sort of out there, but sometimes, guys, like, you have to remember that blocking a play can be worse than leaving it alone, because sometimes by blocking one line, you give back an even better line, right? And there just was no good way for me to block that T without giving back something even more useful to the bot. And the T, given there's 2 Ts already in the pool, it's just not a very good tile for the bot to start with. So I think Q is okay. Bot plays FedEx here. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this just empties the bag, so that loses. Felt is more points, but I guess it needs to leave the G open, probably. And this is a good play. Like, it can draw Thionate, Nathite, Gratinate, some other stuff from its perspective. And then, yeah, here, I don't know why. I was having a hard time seeing a lot of my best plays to the end, it looks like. Yeah, Yapon. But that will lose still easily to Gnathite. Also could give back stuff through that A, potentially, even with the QU, right? Maybe? Cool. Well, maybe not, actually. Almost Totaquine. Oh, Aquatone would play, though. So I don't really think I want to do that. Yeah, Gyron as well. That gives back... Well, Gnathite, it doesn't actually give anything back, because the G was going to give him Gnathite either way. But that still loses to Gnathite on the spot. And I think, like I said, after Pay, based on my math before, I should still win by like a small amount, around 4 or so, if the bot has thionate. And I don't believe there's anything else other than thionate from that T. It's going to be pretty hard with 2 more T's in the queue unseen. And yeah, obviously, if the bot draws the queue after thionate, then I should be able to win pretty easily, right? I mean, the bot will be able to, or actually, will I? I mean, I didn't see. That's actually interesting. I didn't consider the bot drawing the queue after thionate. Maybe I should have considered that more. Huh? Yeah, actually, I wonder if I lose because okay, I'm up 58. Thionate we said is 65. It puts me down 7. I've got to block QI on the right, and it's going to go out with QI next to the I in thionate. So if I play Tog with OK and Ta and Gi, 23, 8, 15, 23. So no, that's not enough, guys. Shoot. Yeah, that's not enough. Because that would put me up 16, and QI is 11. It gets 8, it wins by 3. And Outrage won't play if I draw a UT, I don't think, after Thionate. No. And I certainly am not going to be able to outrun QI for 31. So maybe I didn't play this right, actually. I mean, Pei loses, I believe, only if the bot plays Thionate and then draws the Q, which is very unlikely. It's possible, but very unlikely. That's still better than a play like Gyron that loses whenever the bot has a certain rack, regardless of what I draw out of the bag. Because now at least 2 things have to happen. Like, if the bot has Thionate, there's still only a 1 in 3 chance it actually draws the Q. So that does still steeply reduce the chances of it winning. So I don't think that's terrible. Oh, you know what maybe I can do, actually? You know what I should have done then? Maybe this. Right, because then Top scores more than Tog in that same line. Yeah, because then Top is 29. Yeah, this is the trick here, guys, I think, right? This is what I should have done. It's very sneaky. Because now, assuming I still win. Yeah, but do I still win now if I draw the Q? So, okay, if the bot draws the Q after this, so I'm up 57, Thionate's 65, minus 8 for me, Top is 29. That's plus 22, and then I'm gonna be left with 8 on my rack, so that's plus 14. The bot gets 11. Yeah, I would win by 3, I believe, after this, if my math is right. If the bot draws the Q, no, I'd win by 2. Sorry, yeah, because this scored 1 less than Pei. Yeah, no, I'd win by 2. So if the bot draws the Q, I'm good. But what if now I draw the Q and have to deal with it? If I draw the U, I'm still fine. In fact, I'd have Opaque for a ton, I think. Well, actually, I wouldn't have Opaque, but I'd have Rogue for a lot. But what if I draw QT and the bot draws the U after Thionate? So, okay, Thionate puts the bot up, we said 8. I think I still have to play QI for 31. So I'm up 23, holding AEOPRT. That's 16. The bot needs 7. I still think it's only getting 6 from on with the N in Thionate, I believe. Wow, so I think I'd win by 1 here. That's actually really crazy. So yeah, I think Pei wins unless the bot plays Thionate and then draws the Q, and Gay wins regardless, even if the bot has Thionate. That's actually insane. Wow. Yeah, that's such a subtle distinction there, guys. Like, just those couple of points from the fact that I'm only giving up 1 now by putting the G instead of the P on a non-premium score, whereas I get 6 more for putting the P next to the I in creakily on my next turn, right, if I need to go there. So that's a 5-point swing, which is why I go from a 3-point loss to a 2-point win. Wow, that's actually really cool. So yeah, actually a misplay on my part here, but fortunately it didn't cost me. The bot didn't have Thionate, so I was able to win in the endgame. So yeah, wow, really instructive and interesting game there. Like I said, overall I played pretty well. Pair was, I think, just way too much of an overreaction. It didn't really work out too well for me. I should have probably just played Apron and committed to outrunning there. And yeah, I had the right idea with Pei, but as we saw, the wrong execution. Should have just played off the G instead and saved the P. So it was a small difference, probably just a matter of like 1 or 2%. So Not a big deal, but you never know, guys. Sometimes that's all it takes. So lucky it didn't cost me, but we will take the win. Much needed win brings us to 39 wins in the series. So just one more win before we can get to the 40 win mark. Hopefully we can get it in game number 94 coming up in just a few days. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Thanks as always for all your support. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to catching you soon in the next video. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it. Bye-bye.